Good afternoon and welcome to Vermillion Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. I'm Michael Schumacher from the Bird Cage in Vermillion, South Dakota, on the campus of Vermillion High School as they get ready for homecoming week next week. We'll talk about that hopefully later, but we get ready for the JV matchup as the Vermillion freshman squad, or C squad, did win the C squad matchup in 2 straight sets. Pretty decisively. I did not see the first set, but the second set was 25-9. And so the JV squad is out there right now for Vermillion, and let's just see who is all out there. All right, you have Callie Schultz, you have Ann Bennett, you have Kara Chapman, you have Ella Messersmith, along with Adeline Trowbridge, Brooke Knightsky, and Allie Peterson. Quinn Christensen getting ready to check in. Looks like she is the libero today, as she is in the white uniform, the white jersey with red numbers and black letters and black trim. And the rest of the uniforms for Vermillion will be black with white letters or numbers and red trim. And for Homme, can't quite see all the numbers out there, but I do see an Aubrey Williams out there. I see Addison Reynolds. I see Maddie Einram. I see Catherine Euchre. I also see Aaliyah Whittington and Kensley Shirada. So that is who I'm seeing out there right now for the Tanagers. So this is the JV matchup. We'll then bring you the varsity matchup between Vermillion and Homme. Parker Orr will be on the call from Tri-Valley on Thursday. And then, of course, we will have the call for Vermillion Tanager football from Canton on Friday. Looking to try to cover every Vermillion Tanager volleyball game this season. Not quite sure about the weekend tournaments, how that would work, but we will try that as well. So if you have not liked and subscribed to Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube, go ahead and do that right now. Allie Peterson with the serve. Homme gets it across. That is Addison Anders that gets Catherine Euchre that got that across. Ella Messersmith with the kill attempt. Vermillion does get that across, and a nice save there by Allie Peterson again. And that is a point for Vermillion. So Vermillion on top first. 1-0 here as Allie Peterson goes back to serve. Vermillion right to left, and that is Catherine Euchre. And here comes Leah Whittington. And that is out, and that'll be point number 2 for the Tanagers. So Peterson again with a successful serve. Ooh, nice job there. Beautiful job there by Kensley Shirada, the 5'7" freshman for Homme. Just a nice gentle touch across the net to get that in. Now 2-1 in favor of Vermillion. Back to serve is Aubrey Williams, another freshman for Homme. And the Cavaliers bump that across. That was Ann Bennett with the kill attempt. Messersmith, and that is going to land on the Homme side. 3-1 now in favor of the Tanagers. So checking in for Vermillion is Addison Anders. Checking out is Messersmith. Now checking out is Adeline Trowbridge. Checking in is Callie Schultz. And that will be in the net. 3-2 on the service error. Checking in is Chloe Sedlacek. Checking in for Maddie Einram. Back to serve for Homme is Kensley Shirada. Does hit the net, but that is successful. And nice job there. Beautiful tip by Kara Chapman to give Vermillion the point. 4-2 now here in set number 1. And checking in for Vermillion is Brooke Knightsky. Checking out is Quinn Christensen. Euchre pushes that across, and that will be long, making it 5-2 in favor of Vermillion. Homme gets that across. Bumped there by Anders. And Schultz gets that. And that way the return will be long, making it now 6-2 in favor of the Tanagers. Back to serve again will be Ann Bennett, the sophomore middle hitter. Serving from the right side. Nice job there by Schultz, but nobody can reach it as she did stop that from diving. 6-3 now in favor of the Tanagers. As Bennett checks out, Christensen checks back in for Vermillion. Back to serve for Homme is Leah Whittington. Whittington is a junior, 5'9" middle hitter. And that serve, just gets across the net. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. That was a solid serve, and it just ooched its way over the net. That's an official volleyball term, ooch. So 6-4 now in favor of the Tanagers. That serve is good. As Knightsky gets it across. And that was Catherine Euchre, and that is bumped out of bounds, and that makes it 6-5. So Homme looking to tie this first set up now. As Leah Whittington goes back to serve again. And that will be long. We now have a tied first set, 6-6, with Homme serving. Schultz gets that across. Multiple hits by Homme, and they do get it across here into the hands of Anders. Over to Peterson. Schultz with the kill. No, well defended by Homme. Anders gets that at the back line. Nice job by Knightsky to push that across. Well defended there by Christensen. Wow, just a lot of great net play right now. And Homme skies that, reassesses, and well defended. And then Christensen gets it, and Callie Schultz is able to push it across. Euchre over to Christensen. And they're going to say Homme was in the net, so Vermillion takes the lead back 7-6. Checking in for Homme is Chandra Jelsma. Jelsma checks in for Chloe Sedlacek. As Chapman serves for Vermillion, and that defense is out. 8-6 now in favor of the Tanagers. Here's Christensen. Over to Chapman. Nice job there by Allie Peterson, and that will be out of bounds off of Homme. So 9-6 now. And that is going to be out of bounds. That is a service ace for Kara Chapman, making it 10-6 here in set number 1. And just out. Callie Schultz just a little long on the kill attempt. Makes it 10-7. So back to serve is Catherine Euchre. And that will be an ace. They do not get it back across. 10-8 in favor of Vermillion. That service error leads to an 11-8 score. And there's a kill by Aubrey Williams, making it 11-9 in favor of the Tanagers here in set number 1. That's on the Masaba scoreboard. Again, this is Vermillion Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. That service error is long. That is off the hand of Chloe Sedlacek, making it 12-9 in favor of the Tanagers. As Ann Bennett checks back in, checking out is Brooke Knightsky. Back to serve for the Tanagers is Quinn Christensen. And that serve is going to be long, 12-10. So 12-10, back to serve for Homme is Addison Reynolds. They're going to call Vermillion in the net. Nope, they're going to call Homme in the net. 13-10 now in favor of the Tanagers. Service ace, 14-10 now. As back to serve again is Allie Peterson. And that's going to be off of... Nope, that'll be out of bounds off of Vermillion. 14-11. I couldn't tell if the attacker or defender at the net touched that, but did not. So Aubrey Williams back to serve, and that will not get back across. It's now 14-12 in favor of Vermillion here in set number 1. And Bennett gets that across. Well defended by Vermillion, and that will be in the net, and that makes it 14-13 Tanagers. Now we're back tied at 14. We were tied 6-6. Vermillion has not trailed in this matchup, and that service error will lead to a Vermillion lead again, 15-14. So checking in for Vermillion, Callie Schultz and Addison Anders. Checking out are Adeline Trowbridge and Ella Messersmith. They call a rotation error on Homme. That makes it 16-14 Tanagers. So back to serve again for Vermillion is Addison Anders. Nice job there by Bennett to push that across. Nice push over by Euchre of Homme, making it 16-15 here in set number 1. So back to serve for Homme is Kensley Shirata. Shirata, a right-handed hitter. Gets that across. Nice push there by Kara Chapman. And that's kill attempt by Chloe Sedlacek is into the net, making it 17-15 Vermillion. So Christensen checks out. Brooke Knightsky checks in. It's Chapman, Knightsky, Schultz, along with Anders, Peterson, and Bennett. Nice job there by Callie Schultz, and that will be a point for Vermillion. 18-15 in favor of the Tanagers. And Bennett back to serve. As there's a discussion now between the officials. Pretty good crowd out here already for the JV matchup, as Homme seems to travel well. So 18-15, here's the service from Ann Bennett. And they're going to call Vermillion in the net. 18-16, Tanagers lead here in set number 1, with Quinn Christensen set to check in for Ann Bennett. Checking in for Homme is Breely Van Osdal. Checking in for Addison Reynolds. Back to serve for Homme is Leah Whittington. And that is an ace for Whittington, 18-17. Vermillion leads. On the Masaba scoreboard, again, this is Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Euchre over to Anders. Anders gets it to Allie Peterson. And Chapman sends that into the net, and we're tied back up at 18. We've been tied at 6, 14, and 18. So Whittington back to serve for Homme. Serves comes down to Christensen. Over to Chapman. Allie Peterson gets that across. As it's now, 18-17. They took a point away from Vermillion. Interesting. Okay, this is Homme's first lead. And here's Allie Peterson, pushes that across. Well defended by Homme. Chapman gets that across. And that will be in the net, 18-18. So we're tied at 18 again. Again for the first time, I guess. As checking in is Chandra Jelsma. It'll be Jelsma, Euchre, Aubrey Williams out there, along with Kensley Shirata, Breely Van Osdal, and Chloe Sedlacek. Oh, and Chapman got a hold of that one, but it actually deflected it away from anybody being able to defend it. So it's now 19-18 in favor of Homme. (19-19) service error leads it back to a 20-19 lead for Homme. Service there by Chloe Sedlacek. Messersmith cross court hit. Quinn Christensen over to Kara Chapman. Back to Allie Peterson, and that will just be long. 21-19, Homme now leads. And Vermillion back within one now, 21-20. And that will tie it back up at 21. So that'll be an error on Homme, giving Vermillion back the lead, 22-21. Messersmith, nice hit just inside the antenna there. Nice defense there by Christensen. And that ball bumped by Bennett. Nobody defended it, 22-22. So back to serve for Homme is Addison Reynolds. And that is an ace for Reynolds, making it 23-22 in favor of the Tanagers. Timeout's going to be taken. This timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. This is Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
It's funny how life is made up of moments, quiet ones, big ones, and ones you never forget. A wish, a milestone, a moment you didn't know would mean so much. Because life is made in the moments we share. Voyage Federal Credit Union. For every memory made, for every moment ahead.
Welcome back to Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Vermillion trails 23-22 on the Masaba scoreboard. That service is across successfully, and that will make it 24-22. It's now set point for Homme. And back to serve again is Addison Reynolds. Taken there by Quinn Christensen and Bennett. And that's going to drop in for a point, 24-23. Now Vermillion hopes to stave off the first set loss by getting a point here. Back to serve is Allie Peterson, the freshman. That serve is in. And that will fall on the Homme side. We are tied back up at 24. 24-24. Again, just a reminder, if you're a business owner and you'd like to support Vermillion Athletics, we'd love to talk to you about becoming a Vermillion sportscaster, advertising during the games, as well as on breakfast with the coaches. 24-24, that serve is across. There's Allie Peterson. Bennett pushes that across, and that will fall. 25-24, Vermillion now with their set point. So Allie Peterson goes back to serve. Again, you have Peterson out there, a freshman. Adeline Trowbridge out there, a sophomore. Quinn Christensen out there, a freshman. And they're going to take a timeout along with Ann Bennett, Kara Chapman, and Ella Messersmith. We'll take a timeout as well. This is Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Candice Couture is your complete women's lingerie shop. Bras, underwear, PJs, loungewear, swimwear, sports bras, activewear, and much, much more. Small to 3 extra large and over 200 different sizes of bras. AA to O cup bands 28 to 56 in store. Candice Couture, 17 West Main Street.
Welcome back to the Birdcage on the campus of Vermillion High School in Vermillion, South Dakota. Vermillion on the edge of winning set number 1. They lead 25-24. Allie Peterson back to serve. Serve is successful. And that hit is in the net by Aubrey Williams. And that gives Vermillion set number 1, 26-24. We'll be back with set number 2 after these messages. This is Vermillion Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Vermillion leads 1-0 on the Masaba scoreboard.
The Pizza Ranch Vermillion is your event headquarters. Enjoy the crisp salad bar, the country's best chicken, and fresh pizza. Want a custom pizza? Just ask. We are proud to offer the buffet your way. And the Fun Zone Arcade features 36 games, 2 golf simulators, and full bar. Perfect for pregame tailgates and parties. Have a business meeting, team, or office party? Reserve the Dakota Center. It holds up to 300 people. Order online at pizzaranch.com for delivery, or circle your wagons and make Pizza Ranch your tailgate place next to USG.
In a situation like this, the first thing you do, of course, is make sure everybody's okay. And then you're thinking, you better call your insurance person. No, just call Justin. At Vermillion Auto Works, you see Justin handles all the insurance claims and gives free quotes. Not everybody does the free quote thing anymore, you know. So call Justin at Vermillion Auto Works. He'll take care of the situation. Carrying WeatherTech, Rough Country, and Tuxedo. Vermillion Auto Works.
Knutson Family Dentistry in Vermillion treats you like family. They believe a healthy smile starts with compassionate care. From toddlers to grandparents, their gentle team is here for your whole family. Whether it's a routine checkup or a full smile makeover, they'll keep you comfortable and confident. Knutson Family Dentistry in Vermillion makes your smile shine. Visit Knutson Family Dentistry online or call today, 605-624-6291.
If you're considering a new roof, you want to put your roof in the hands of Dave's Roofing. Dave's Roofing specializes in residential roofing and has over 10 years of experience. Dave's Roofing covers any job from a 60 to 80 mile radius of Sioux City and has a 10-man crew that completes most jobs in one day. Dave's Roofing will make sure the cleanup job is done right afterwards too. And the products installed are impact rated and eligible for homeowners insurance discounts. Look up Dave's Roofing on Facebook and check out the work that's been done and customer testimonials.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank from the Birdcage in Vermillion, South Dakota. I'm Michael Schumacher. After set number 1, the Tanagers lead 1-0, winning 26-24. Heading out there to lead off this set for Vermillion will be number 14, Brooke Knightsky, number 5, Allie Peterson, number 6, Ella Messersmith, number 15, Kara Chapman, number 18, Ann Bennett, and number 9, Adeline Trowbridge. So Quinn Christensen awaits to come in as Aubrey Williams will be set to serve for Homme. Also out there, Maddie Einram. Looks like Addison Reynolds, number 14, Kensley Sharada, along with Catherine Euchre. And I can't quite catch the other number. And that is Leah Whittington is the other player out there. So Messersmith will come out. Quinn Christensen will come in. No? Yes? All right, so Christensen comes in for Brooke Knightsky. Coming in for Addison Anders is Ella Messersmith. All right, we're getting ready for set number 2 with Vermillion up 1-0, winning that first set 26-24. Again, Aubrey Williams, the freshman for Homme, back to serve. Bennett bumps that across. Oh, and Bennett and Christensen get tied up. Their feet tangle, and that will be a point in favor of Bon Homme. 1-0. And that bump will be out of bounds quickly. 2-0 in favor of the Cavaliers. There you go for Vermillion. Quickly now 2-1. Checking out is Messersmith, along with Adeline Trowbridge. Checking in, Callie Schultz and Addison Anders. Anders with the serve. And that is going to be just in bounds. Well placed by Bon Homme. 3-1 now in favor of the Cavaliers. So back to serve is Kensley Shirata. Euchre is blocked at the net by Bennett and Schultz. Oh, nice push over there by Kensley Shirata. Nobody can get to that. 4-1 now in favor of the Cavaliers. That service error is out. 4-2. And back to serve for the Tanagers will be Ann Bennett. As checking in is Knightsky, Quinn Christensen checks out. Euchre with the kill attempt, and that's going to be in. 5-2 in favor of Bon Homme. So Christensen back in. As Ann Bennett checks out, back to serve for Bon Homme is Leah Whittington. (6-2) now in favor of the of the Cavaliers. Bon Homme starting to try to pull away here in this second set. 7-2 lead now. So Whittington serves again, and that one hits the net and jumps across. 8-2. Bounced right behind Brooke Knightsky. And so timeout taken by Vermillion. This timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. 8-2 Vermillion trails Bon Homme on the Masaba scoreboard. This is Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Interior technicians.
Jerry, I need your help. I'm in a real pickle.
How can we help? We clean carpets, furnace and duct cleaning, mold remediation, fire restoration, water damage restoration, office cleaning, and much more.
No, Jerry, I'm in a real pickle. I'm stuck and I can't get out. Hang on, I'll send you a pic so you can see what I mean.
Oh my gosh. When you need it clean, call the Intech team. Fixing pickles since 1984.
If you want somebody to come into your home and fix everything right the first time, look professional, act professional, treat you with respect, you gotta call Kaylin's. When they come in, I feel that they want to be there. I feel that they want to help me.
You know, they put on the little booties over their shoes. They had canvas from the garage door all the way down to walk on. They left the furnace room in the basement probably cleaner than it was when they came in.
They just do customer service very well. I would recommend Kaylin's to anyone.
Welcome back to Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Vermillion trails 9-2 here in set number 2. They did win set number 1, and that push is across, and that will be saved by Bonhomme. But that shot by Euchre is high and long, and it's now 9-3 in favor of Bonhomme. Checking in for the Cavaliers is Chandra Jelsma. Back to serve for Vermillion is Cara Chapman. Chapman serve, gets across. Here's Euchre from the right side now. Allie Peterson hits that across. Gets to that one too. Euchre now from the left side. Euchre again. Here's Chapman with the push. Oh, and that is left too close in front of the net. 10-3 now. So after a great first set, Vermillion kind of a little bit of errors here and there in this JV matchup in set number 2. And here's Euchre's first serve. And Schultz gets that across. And that will be too many hits for Bonhomme. Now 10-4. Both teams kind of suffering from errors. And now checking in for Vermillion, it'll be Mia Anderson along with Adeline Trowbridge and Ella Messersmith. So this is the first time of us seeing Mia Anderson. And if it's not Mia, if it's Maya, give me a text, 605-661-5858. Any pronunciations, if I'm getting something wrong, let me know. So checking in for Callie Schultz is Adeline Trowbridge, and Ella Messersmith is checking in for Addison Anders. 10-4, Vermillion trails here in set number 2, but they do lead 1-0. Just a reminder, on At the Mic tomorrow morning, we will have Coach Leanne Williamson. Now, we did lose part of that when her phone disconnected, so, it's not a complete interview, but it's fun. And that shot is out of bounds, and that will make it 10-5 now in favor of Bonhomme. So Vermillion trying to dig back in. That's Cara Chapman. Over to Messersmith. Trowbridge was the server. Quinn Christensen to Chapman. Allie Peterson gets that across. Oh, Christensen tried to get a hand on that one. It kind of deflected it in an odd way. And Trowbridge couldn't quite get to it. Now 11-5 in favor of Bonhomme here in set number 2. That serve does just get across the net. 12-5. As the Pride of Vermillion band gets set in, and that is the second consecutive serve by Chloe Sidlacek that hits the top of the net and really affects it and gets across. 13-5 now. 8-point lead for the Cavaliers here in set number 2. On the Masaba scoreboard. Again, this is Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Here's Allie Peterson, just a push across. And Aubrey Williams with the shot that just hits the corner. Now 14-5 in favor of the Cavaliers. Oh, nice block there by Bonhomme. Messersmith with a nice job to save it, though, coming off the net. Nice save there by Allie Peterson. Aubrey Williams, and there's a nice job at the back line by Mia Anderson. Nice block there by Anderson now. And that point will go to Vermillion. Between Mia Anderson and Katie Sorensen, they really saved that point on that rally. 14-6 now in favor of Bon Homme as Ann Bennett checks in and Mia Anderson checks out. So back to serve is Quinn Christensen. And that will be an ace for Christensen, now 14-7. Cavaliers with the lead here in set number 2. That's a nice push across by Aubrey Williams, makes it 15-7. So back to serve for Bon Homme is Addison Reynolds. Oh, a rotation error on Vermillion makes it 16-7 in favor of Bon Homme. And there's another ace serve by Addison Reynolds. 17-7, a 10-point differential is the biggest lead either team's had in either set tonight. Allie Peterson over to Messersmith. That is long, 18-7 now. Messersmith checks out. Lily Dominguez checks in. As Addison Reynolds serves again, defended there by Christensen, sorry. And that shot by Allie Peterson lands out, 19-7. That shot by Dominguez goes long, 20-7 now. On the Masaba scoreboard again, this is Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Addison Reynolds has been back there for a while. Serving. And Euchre saves that at the back line. Bumped across by Leah Whittington. And that is going to be long. So that point goes to Vermillion, as it looks like Bon Homme was in the net. 20-8 now in favor of the Cavaliers. And that bump saved there. Bumped across. Oh, good defense by Bon Homme over there, and that will land on their side. 20-9 now in favor of Bon Homme. As the third consecutive point for the Tanagers. Making it 20-10. Allie Peterson back to serve. There's an ace, 20-11. So Peterson back to serve again. And that's another ace for Allie Peterson, making it 20-12. And that's going to be a timeout taken by Bon Homme. We'll be back after these messages. This timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. Tanager Volleyball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
To be honest, it's the people that I work with. Like, I mean, I love what I do. You gotta love what you do to come every day. But the people I work with make coming 10 times easier. You want to be a part of a team that cares for you and that actually put in the time to teach you and show you the things to do in a proper way. You know, you're just full of people who care.
So welcome back, and Allie Peterson to serve. That was defended out there by Katie Sorensen. Dominguez with the shot across, and they're going to call it Bon Homme in net. Now it's 20-13. So Vermillion making that, clawing their way back in. Is Allie Peterson pulling an Addison Reynolds and just staying back there and serving. And that return off of Euchre is awry, 20-14. So here's Peterson. And Dominguez gets that across. Nice job by Aubrey Williams. And that's going to be a shot by Cara Chapman, making it 20-15 in favor of Bon Homme. But Vermillion has clawed their way back 8 consecutive points. So Allie Peterson back to serve yet again. Oh, nice job by Chapman to get that across. Nice job by Bon Homme to get that across. Allie Peterson over to Lily Dominguez, and that is into the net. That will break the run. It's now 21-15 in favor of Bon Homme. Aubrey Williams with the serve. Defended at the baseline by Katie Sorensen. Euchre bounces that across. Nice job by Bennett with the kill. 21-16. Tanagers trail. Cavaliers lead, but Tanagers with a nice run here as both Addison Anders and Callie Schultz will return to the lineup. Checking out will be Katie Sorensen and Lily Dominguez. Back to serve for the Tanagers will be Addison Anders. Anders bumps that. Over to Chapman. Nice job by Christensen to get that across. Oh, Anders couldn't get to that one, as that is a kill by Leah Whittington, 22-16 in favor of Bon Homme. Back to serve for the Cavaliers will be Kensley Shurada. And that serve is into the net, 22-17. Now Vermillion needs to try to make a run here. You only get so many chances when 25 is the final number, but you have to win by 2. Checking in, Mia Anderson. Checking out, Quinn Christensen. And Bennett back to serve. Anders over to Chapman. Nice job by Chapman. Ooh, and Allie Peterson pushes that across, 22-18. What was once a 13-point lead is now cut down to 4 as Ann Bennett goes back to serve yet again for these Tanagers. And that serve is beautiful, gets across, well defended. Allie Peterson pushes that across. Oh, into the net. Makes it 22-19 now in favor of the Cavaliers. Chapman has that blocked, but back over, and Chapman hits that across, 22-19, and that's going to be in the net on Homme, and so that'll make it 22-20. So the Tanagers clawing their way back in, and Bennett back to serve yet again. Nice defense there by Allie Peterson. Over to Callie Schultz. Schultz gets that across. Nice defense by both teams. Bennett pushes that over to Chapman. Chapman gets that across. And nice defense there by Homme. Oh, and that's going to fall on the Homme side. Okay, my eyes deceived me. It's now 22-21 in favor of Homme. Vermillion with the 1-set lead, and this is going to be a timeout taken by Homme. So we're going to take a timeout as well, brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. Tanagers trail 22-21, but lead 1-0 here in set number 2. This is Tanager Volleyball, brought to you.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Welcome back as Ann Bennett goes back to serve yet again. Gets across. Vermillion trails 22-21. Euchre has that blocked back into her face, and that's another point in... Nope. Sorry, that falls on Vermillion's side, 23-21. I apologize. Looked like it fell on... I can do it the net. It's just hard for me to tell sometimes. So, 23-21. Back to serve for Homme is Leah Whittington. Anders saves that at the back line. Chapman over to Mia Anderson. Here's Euchre. Gets that across. Allie Peterson over to Quinn Christensen. It's a good rally here as Callie Schultz gets that across. Homme just 2 points away from winning the set. Chapman, cannot get that across the net. Now it's set point for Homme. Now they had set point in set number 1 though too. We need to remember that. And that's going to be a point for the Tanagers, 24-22. So 24-22 now. Back to serve for Vermillion will be Cara Chapman. Out there you have Chapman, Christensen, Anders, Allie Peterson, Mia Anderson, and Callie Schultz. So again, still set point for Homme. Christensen over to Chapman. Over to Allie Peterson, and that will be in! That will be in for Allie Peterson, 24-23. Like I said, Homme had set point in set number 1. Vermillion was able to stave that off and come back to win at 26-24. Cara Chapman back to serve. Would love to help her team out here. Anders over to Chapman. Mia Anderson with a nice touch, and that's going to be well played by Euchre. Christensen over to Chapman again. Allie Peterson. And that's going to be another point for the Tanagers. 24-24 here in set number 2 as the Tanagers lead 1-9 here in the JV matchup. I know I'm getting really excited, but it's the JV matchup, but still cool. Cara Chapman, serves into the net. Okay, 25-24 in favor of Homme. Again, another set point attempt for Homme as Euchre is back to serve. Catherine Euchre. Chapman over to Peterson. Williams has that defended by Chapman. Christensen. Wow! Well done by Allie Peterson. Nice job by Callie Schultz to tip that over. 25-25. This has been a great matchup. And coming in for Vermillion will be Katie Sorensen. She'll come in for Callie Schultz. So it's Sorensen, Christensen, and Mia Anderson. Yes, and Allie Peterson, along with Ruby Brower for the first time, I think. So 25-25. Chapman tips that across. Nice job there by Brower. And nice job there by Mia Anderson. Sorry. Saves that one. Over to Chapman. Chapman pushes that across. Euchre defends on the back line. Aubrey Williams defended there by Katie Sorensen. Nice job by Brower. Here's Quinn Christensen over to Cara Chapman. Allie Peterson. And they're going to call Homme in the net. It's now set point for the Tanagers here in this JV matchup. 26-25. The Tanagers with the lead, leading 1-0. Williams pushes that across. Miscommunication. Nice job there, though, by Mia Anderson to get that across. Nice save by Anderson. Williams over to Katie Sorensen. Nice job by Vermillion. And that almost falls. And it's back on the Vermillion side. Allie Peterson over to Cara Chapman. Brower cannot get that to fall. Push across there by Chandra Jelsma. Beautiful play by Vermillion. Brower, and that is defended by Homme. Holy moly. So much action. As here is Katie Sorensen over to Chapman. Allie Peterson. Just watch. And that is it. Vermillion JV wins 27-25. Holy moly. That was honestly some of the best volleyball I've seen. The best rallies I've seen. Hopefully if you were watching, you enjoyed that as much as I did. All right, we're going to take a little bit of a break. And when we come back, we'll be bringing you some Vermillion Tanager varsity action as they take on Homme from the Birdcage on the campus of Vermillion High School. I'm Michael Schumacher. This is Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank, where Vermillion's JV and C team have both won already. So we'll be back and we'll be going through our pregame. Vermillion Chamber and Development Company pregame here on Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be right.
Truckers, commercial fleet, car owners, when you need a DOT inspection, you need a battery, oil change, diagnostic, or specialized tire service for farm, auto, and heavy equipment, JFI will get your vehicle repaired and washed and back on the road. JFI proudly supports Vermillion Tanagers, the community of Vermillion, in business for nearly 100 years for a reason. JFI is the best, and that's no lie. JFI 1218 Compton Court, Vermillion.
This is your invitation to thrive in Yankton, South Dakota. Nestled on the bluffs of the Missouri River, plenty of outdoor adventures are waiting. Whether you work remote or in a traditional office, we have a spot for you. Quality healthcare, diverse manufacturing, progressive school system, Mount Marty University, and so much more. Explore with family and friends. Let's thrive together.
Get the finest wood in the neighborhood down at the lumber yard.
But it's not just wood at the Lumberyard. With a wide variety of quality building materials, the folks at the Lumberyard can help you with all of your project needs. Whether it be paint, siding, cabinets, windows, or of course lumber, the Lumberyard is ready to help. The best wood in the neighborhood at the Lumberyard, 1000 West Cherry Street in Vermillion.
Welcome to Running. Welcome to Runnings in Vermillion. Shop their great lineup of clothes for women. Names like Ariat and Carhartt for men. Boots and shoes and kids' clothing. Runnings has a large supply of animal food and accessories. Love the outdoors? See the selection of ammo, firearms, and fishing equipment. For everything you need, walk through the doors at Runnings, your home, farm, and outdoor store, Vermillion.
The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Vermillion is proud to support local athletics like USD and the Tanagers. The DQ fall flavors are in, and DQ has great food at great prices. Get a $7 meal deal. Choose from a cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken basket with fries, a drink, and a sundae for only $7. Got an office team party or birthday party? If you want to celebrate, don't bake, buy a DQ cake. And DQ supports the Sanford Children's Network. So after the game, take your team for a thrill to the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill, 905 East Cherry Street, Vermillion, South Dakota.
Slumberland Furniture at 2401 Broadway in Yankton, home of Kirkland Furniture Groups, bedroom groups by Laguna, and dining sets by Tower and Catadel. They're also the only place to offer furniture by Flex Steel and the biggest selection of Lazy Boy in the area. The Mattress Gallery is full of the best brand name mattresses in the business, including the all-new Tempur-Pedic Active Breeze personalized climate-controlled mattress. Slumberland Furniture, dining, bedroom sets, and mattresses in Yankton.
All right, just wanted to check back in. They have not started the time clock yet for the varsity matchup, so it's still at 15. They are out there warming up, as you can see on your screen. They also took off the huddle cam, so this is why I bring another camera, so you guys can see that we are still broadcasting live. You can see the girls warming up. Again, this is the Vermillion Chamber and Development Company pregame show as the Tanagers get ready to take on the Cavaliers. Now, both of these teams, they've had their ups, they've had their downs, and so just a second here. I wanted to bring up the records, but now it's just taking a little bit of time for me. All right, here we go. So we're both teams Class A, and we'll take a look at polls and everything, but just right now, for these two teams, you're looking at Homme and Vermillion. Vermillion got a couple of wins over the weekend. Last week was very successful for them. But Homme, they are 3-1 on the season. Homme 3-1. They opened up with a loss at Winter, and that was a four-setter. 15-25, 25-22, 22-25, 13-25. They then defeated Viborg Hurley in straight sets on August 28th. They defeated Andes Central Dakota Christian in 8 straight sets on September 2nd. They then defeated Mount Vernon Plankinton in straight sets on September 4th. And that brings you to today. So after their first match against Winter, they have not dropped a set. Now, should be said, Viborg Hurley is 1-6, Andes Central Dakota Christian 0-6, and Mount Vernon Plankinton 2-5. So, I'm not quite sure what you can make of it. But either way, they have been successful as that clock is now starting to run. Vermillion lost their first 3, but since then, starting the season off 0-3, they're now 3-2 since then. So 3-5, they lost to West Central in straight sets, 15-25, 16-25, and 17-25. They then lost to Wagner in 4 sets. Wagner 4-2 on the season. West Central 3-1. And then they fell to Lennox in straight sets. Lennox is 7-0. Then they defeated South Sioux down in Nebraska. Then they defeated West Lyon at the Canton High School tournament, 2-0. They lost to Rock Valley in 3 sets, 1-2. And then they defeated Garrettson in 2 sets and fell to Canton in 2 sets. So a pretty successful tournament if you're a Tanager fan. Can't be too upset with the way they performed in Canton. So they come in tonight again, 3-5, taking on a 3-1 Bon Homme team. So when we come back, we're going to take a look at the polls. We're going to take a look at the standings, and we'll be back with more. This is Vermillion Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. I'm Michael Schumacher, and we'll be back right after this. This is Vermillion Tanagers on you.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small, just as it should be. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of choices to make sure you have the perfect coverage to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance.
Clay County Abstract and Title Company has a complex job that boils down to something very simple: helping you purchase your dream with confidence. When investing in a new home, a new site for your business, or piece of property, you want peace of mind that the property is truly yours. Clay County Abstract and Title Company has been doing just that since 1946. Clay County Abstract and Title Company, proud supporters of Vermillion activities and proud to be a part of your dreams come true.
Warmer days are coming, and sooner or later your air conditioning will need to kick in as well. But what if it doesn't? Well, don't wait. Call Larry's Heating and Cooling. With 43 years in the business, we're very knowledgeable on what we do and how we serve our customers. You can rest assured that when you call day or night, someone will always pick up the call. Join our elite club today and become a priority member. Skip the line, get discounts on services, and have no overtime fees. Call Larry's Heating and Cooling for expert service from factory-trained technicians.
I'm Blaine Olson, owner of Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. I grew up here, graduated here, and now have a business here. I'm proud to serve the community that has helped me live this dream. I have top-notch equipment, the latest in training, along with a work ethic and the desire to serve you. Should you need repairs in the future, please remember Blaine's Body Shop across from Polaris on the Highway 50 bypass in Vermillion.
Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Now online at blainesbodyshop.com.
Welcome back to not Breakfast with the Coaches, not at the mic. It's Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. I'm Michael Schumacher, and we're going to be bringing you the Vermillion Tanagers and the Bon Homme Cavaliers. Tanagers C team won in 2 sets. The Vermillion Tanagers JV team won in 2 sets. We'll be getting ready to go in about 10 minutes. But let's take a look at the most recent South Dakota Prep Media poll for volleyball. In Class AA, Harrisburg took all 15 first-place votes at 3-0 on the season. Second place is Brandon Valley at 4-2. They're followed by O'Gorman. O'Gorman also at 4-2 on the season. Watertown comes in at 4th at 6-2. And then Sioux Falls, Washington comes in at 2-1. Also receiving votes in the Class AA poll, that would be Rapid City Stevens. So again, Harrisburg with the unanimous number 1, followed by the Brandon Valley Lynx, the O'Gorman Knights, Watertown Arrows, the Sioux Falls Washington Warriors, and the Rapid City Stevens Raiders. Jeez, I was going to say Cobblers. That's Central. I apologize. So that's a look at your Class A media poll. And what you're going to notice with a lot of these, not a ton of receiving votes either in any of these. So it is pretty definitive. All three classes have unanimous number ones. And in Class A, that is Del Rapids. Del Rapids with 15 first place votes at 7-1. Now Sioux Falls Christian, they're coming at 4-2. They're in second. Dakota Valley in third at 3-0. Rapid City Christian comes in at 9-1, and Clark Willow Lake comes in fifth at 6-0. Also receiving votes in Class A, Miller, they're 3-1 on the year. Baltic at 6-1. Hamlin, well, they're 3-2. Custer at 8-0, and then Groton area at 3-0. So a lot of teams receiving votes. Now, one thing I wanted to check is, that Lennox team that Vermillion took on, they're 7-0 on the season and not receiving any love in the poll, and I'm a voter as well. Actually, no, I did not get a chance to vote this week. They might want to start considering giving Lennox some love because they have defeated Vermillion, who's 3-5. They defeated Tri-Valley in straight sets, who's 3-3. They defeated West Sioux out of Canton. They defeated West Lyon in Canton, sorry. They defeated West Lyon out of Iowa. They defeated Baltic, who is 6-2, a really good B team. And then they defeated Canton in 2-1 at the Canton High School tournament. And then they defeated Canton in straight sets to end the week. So, Lennox has played some tough teams. Now, they're going to play Madison. They'll be playing Madison on Thursday. So that will be one that determines, I think, who gets some votes because Madison's 7-1. They then play Elk Point Jefferson. So Class A probably has the most quality teams on it. And so Madison, while they're 7-1, you do have to look. They're playing Flandreau. They did defeat Canton. They defeated they lost to West Central, but they defeated Platte Geddes, smaller school. Canastota, smaller school. Parkston, small. Gayville-Vollen, smaller. Dubrook area, smaller. So they take on Sioux Falls Christian tonight. So we'll give you updates as we get those as those go around. So that's just a look at Class A. I was a little confused. Lennox not getting any love. They should this week if they're able to be successful. So that's a look at Class A. And then let's take a look at Class B. In Class B, and on Gayville-Vollen Raiders YouTube, you can hear Gage Ravelette's call of Gayville-Vollen at Scotland tonight. So Gayville-Vollen looking to make it back to that state tournament for the third consecutive year. Really, I was talking at work today, Gayville-Vollen is seeing a real renaissance in female athletics, whether it's softball, basketball, softball, even track and field. Gayville-Vollen really, really coming on strong. So if you're picking a team to follow, that might be one of them in volleyball. In Class B, though, Chester area on top with 15 first-place votes at 7-0. Warner in second at 7-0. Northwestern at 6-1. Burke at 6-0. And then Gayville-Vollen sitting there at 8-1. Receiving votes, you have Hitchcock-Tulare, you have Bennett County, and then Esteline Hendricks. Esteline Hendricks. Did I say Bennett City? It looks like City there. I don't know. So those are the ones receiving votes. So Class B, also competitive. And you look at those top teams like Northwestern, Warner, and Chester area. Just always so tough. But Gayville-Vollen, they're hoping to make their mark this season in Class B volleyball. So that's a look around the state. When we come back, we'll take a look at the matchups tonight around the state. This is Vermillion Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank, all part of the Vermillion Chamber and Development Company pregame show. We'll be back with more after these messages from the Birdcage in Vermillion.
Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/career. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
Todd's Electric, your full-service electrical contracting company. Todd's Electric services residential, commercial, agricultural, and industrial customers. From the simplest service call to the most complex design build project, Todd's Electric has the expertise to do it right. Call Todd's Electric for all your electrical needs. Todd's Electric, helping you control all things electric. Except for lightning. Todd's Electric. Go Tanagers!
Wanting a specialist without leaving town? We've got you covered. Our clinic offers specialists for the health and wellness of your family. From pediatricians to OBGYNs, plus primary care. You can find it all at Vermillion Medical Clinic. So much care, so close to home.
If you're looking for the perfect fit, Vermillion Vision Care Associates fits like the right pair of glasses. Vision Care Associates has its roots in family eye care, and the doctors are well known for being primary eye care providers. With the ability to treat and diagnose a variety of settings, Vermillion Vision Care Associates is the right fit for you. Plus, they can fit you into a new pair of glasses, sunglasses, or contacts that feel just right. With continuing education, see the best doctors at Vermillion Vision Care Associates.
When you need top-notch appliances that last, trust the experts at Murph's Appliance. From washers and dryers to refrigerators, they have all the trusted brands to keep your home running smoothly. At Murph's, you'll find Maytag appliances built for durability and service you can count on. Whether it's a new oven or a repair, they're there for you every step of the way. Stop on down to Murph's Appliance, your local Maytag dealer in Vermillion. Maytag and Murph's, reliable just like you.
You recently got a chip in your windshield? Maybe a big crack. So you call your insurance company to get it fixed? Then it happens. You have an appointment before you have even made a choice.
Wait a minute. I want Fast Auto Glass in Vermillion to fix my windshield.
But they tell you somebody else is on the way. You do have a choice, and I hope our experience, knowledge, and guaranteed satisfaction will lead you to choose us. Fast Auto Glass in Vermillion. Fast, fair glass repair.
Welcome back to the Birdcage in Vermillion, South Dakota, on the campus of Vermillion High School. I'm Michael Schumacher, and you're tuned in to Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube. If you have not had a chance to like and subscribe and click that bell button, go ahead and do that. We'll let you know every time we go live, as we will be bringing you Vermillion Tanager athletics all season long. Well, let's just take a look. In Class AA, Yankton is hosting Sioux Falls Roosevelt tonight. Sioux Falls Washington is hosting Sioux Falls Jefferson. Huron hosting Watertown, and Brookings hosting T-Area. Harrisburg hosting Mitchell. Brandon Valley hosting Sioux Falls Lincoln. Sturgis Brown hosting Custer. Douglas hosting Hill City, and Rapid City Christian hosting Spearfish. In Class A, Mobridge Pollock and North Central. Little Wound versus Pine Ridge. Lakota Tech and Todd County. Crow Creek and Lower Brule. Hanson versus Howard. Ethan versus MVP. Platte Geddes hosting Wagner. That should be a good one. Of course, Vermillion and Bonhomme. McLaughlin hosting Cheyenne Eagle Butte. EPJ hosting West Central. Lead Deadwood and Ulrichs. Sioux Falls Christian versus Madison. That'll be a test of how good Madison is. Dual versus DeSmet. Baltic versus Chester area. That's a receiving votes versus number 1. Webster area hosting Groton area. Parker Marion hosting Canton. Clark Willow Lake hosting Wilmot. Florence Henry hosting Aberdeen Roncalli. Again, Sturgis Brown and Custer. Leota Frederick area and Redfield. Dakota Valley and Beersford. McCook Central Montrose and Sioux Valley. Millbank. Miller and Warner. And there we go. So we're getting ready for starting lineups, so we'll keep you up to date on others as Mr. Fry gets set to announce the starting lineups. And we will pause for the national anthem, and we will put that on the screen, the flag. We'll open up this meeting by asking you to rise and remove your hats. Direct your attention to the right of the video board as we pay tribute to our country with the performance of our national anthem by the choir of Vermillion High School Band under the direction of Mr. Gary Olson. That was the national anthem by the Pride of Vermillion Band under the direction of Garrett Olson as we get ready for the starting lineups. For Bon Homme, starting, you have number 1, Jersey Schonebaum. Number 4, Casey Ronick. And you'll have number 6, Danny Kotalik. Casey Ronick. And then Emerson Tucker, the libero. And then it's going to be number 8, Olivia Call. And then senior outside hitter, 5'8", Emma. Number 10, Emma Balvin. Then you have number 11, 5'11", middle hitter, junior Sadie Noel. And then finally, number 16, 5'7", right side hitter, senior Raina Alberts. And Raina's, that Tim just lost his mom, Tim Kleinsasser, just had his mom pass away. So services are Friday and Saturday. So here are your starters for the Vermillion Tanagers. Number 1, senior Brooke Van Drongelen. Number 4, 8th grader libero Flynn Peterson. Sophomore middle hitter, number 9, Mercedes Reddick. Number 12, senior setter, Skylar Grease. Number 13, junior outside hitter, Emma Reddick. Then number 16, senior outside hitter, Josie Askew. And then finally, number 17, senior defensive specialist, Elizabeth Fisher. So that's your starting lineup for these Vermillion Tanagers and Bon Homme Cavaliers. And again, we always want to thank our veterans who have served us so proudly in the armed forces as we always pause for the national anthem, including my daughter, Leela, who serves in the North Carolina National Guard, as well as my dad, Gary Schumacher, who served in the Army during the Vietnam War era, my uncle Leroy Schumacher, who served in the Army in the Korean War era, my late uncle George Dyson, who served in the United States Air Force in the Korean War era, and the late uncle Dick Harvey, who served in the United States Navy in the Korean War era, along with Chris Keeler, who was one of my best friends in high school, who passed away just a number of years ago from an illnesses contracted through his military service. So we always want to remember them as we get ready to begin. So Flynn Peterson out there with Josie Askew and Elizabeth Fisher and Emma Reddick on the front line. It's Peterson, Van Drongelen, and back to serve, it's Skylar Grease. So Grease back to serve. And that is, that's in. That is in. First point goes to Bon Homme. So again, Bon Homme with a 3-1 record on the season. Vermillion 3-5. Bon Homme quickly out to a 1-0 lead here in set number 1. Quickly, I mean, everyone gets a point. So there's Peterson. And that is, that hit by Fisher just long. 2-0 quickly by Bon Homme. And back to serve again for the Cavaliers, it's Emma Balvin. Balvin gets that taken by Flynn Peterson. Nice kill attempt there by Reddick. And boy, Bon Homme is able to save it. And Askew with the kill attempt. And that is, boy, just falls between the Bermuda Triangle of Tanagers. Just nobody had quite the angle to get to it, and quickly 3-0 in favor of Bon Homme here in set number 1. So Balvin back to serve again. And here's Grease with the set. Fisher takes it down the left line. Might have been out, but Balvin defended it. And that goes out of bounds. So it's now 3-1 in favor of Vermillion as Emma Reddick goes back to serve. So it's Emma Reddick, Skylar Grease, Flynn Peterson, Tessa Peterson, Josie Askew, and Elizabeth Fisher out there for the Tanagers. And there's an ace for Emma Reddick. Emma Reddick with the ace. Vermillion in their white jerseys with black letters and red trim with red and black sleeves. Bon Homme in their pale blue, light blue jerseys with red numbers and letters with white trim. And there's Askew, and that's going to be tipped by Bon Homme, and that's going to tie it up 3-3. That was tipped at the net by Bon Homme, so Emma Reddick goes back to serve again. 2 consecutive points for Reddick. That serve is into the net, so that will be a point for Bon Homme. And again, I did see earlier today extending a warm welcome to the newest school board member for Vermillion, Ryan Johnson, has worked for USD's Information IT Services for 25 years, and that serve is out for Bon Homme, so now 4-4. So out comes Flynn Peterson, in comes Mercedes Reddick. So it's Mercedes Reddick, Josie Askew, Tessa Peterson, Skylar Grease, Emma Reddick, and back to serve is Josie Askew, tied at 4. Boy, Mercedes Reddick got a piece of that at the net, but it glanced off and went out of bounds, making it 5-4 in favor of Bon Homme. Back to serve for the Cavaliers is Jersey Schoenebaum. Schoenebaum is a 5'6" junior. Mercedes Reddick at the net, and that's going to be out. Tied at 5 now here in set number 1. Back and forth. That's the way we like it. So Elizabeth Fisher back to serve for the Tanagers. Fisher fields that one. Over to Emma Reddick. Tessa Peterson gets that across. Nice block at the net. Grease saves that. Over to Peterson. Peterson has that stopped by Bon Homme. Nice block at the net, but they cannot get it before it falls. So that will be a point for Bon Homme. 6-5 now. Cavaliers lead the Tanagers. 6-5 in favor of the Canada as it's Tacey Ronick back to serve. Defended by Reddick. Over to Tessa Peterson down the line, and that is in, and that will tie it back up at 6. So I can tell you, I'm starting to get hungry, just as I have to restrict food. So, man, those walking tacos look really good as they walk by. All right, back to serve for the Tanagers. It is Brooke Van Drongelen. And Emma Reddick has that one hit out and ends up on top of the pipe that says Vermillion High School. So that thing is caught up there. And so that will be a point for the Tanagers, I believe, unless they reset. So no point. They do have to reset. That stinks. But the volleyball still stuck up there. So here's Van Drongelen. As Balvin gets that across. Taken by Peterson. Flynn Peterson, because Allie Peterson is out there as well. Flynn Peterson defends that. Allie Peterson sets to Mercedes Reddick, and that is in. 7-6 in favor of the Tanagers. Here in set number 1. Here's Van Drongelen serve. just across the net, and that is an ace, 8-6 in favor of Vermillion. And there's another service ace for Van Drongelen, 9-6 now in favor of Vermillion. That's going to be a timeout taken by Bonhomme. So with the score 9-6 on the Mesaba scoreboard, this is Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. We'll be back right after.
It's funny how life is made up of moments, quiet ones, big ones, and ones you never forget. A wish, a milestone, a moment you didn't know would mean so much. Because life is made in the moments we share. Voyage Federal Credit Union. For every memory made, for every moment ahead.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. I'm Michael Schumacher, and the Tanagers lead 9-6 here in set number 1. Van Drongelen with the serve. And Allie Peterson sets it to Ariellen Walker, but that ends up in the net, so it's now 9-7 in favor of Vermillion. So back to serve for Bonhomme will be Emerson Tucker. And that shot is long by Mercedes Reddick, making it 9-8 now, as Bonhomme trims that lead. Of course, Bonhomme will be hosting the Cavalier Clash. That will be coming up here in not this weekend, but next weekend on the 20th. There's a job by Mercedes Reddick, pushed across by Allie Peterson. Nice block there by Vermillion, and that is out. 10-8 now in favor of the Tanagers. So Flynn Peterson back to serve. And that will be long, 11-8 in favor of Vermillion. So Flynn Peterson back to serve again. Ooh, and that does just land inside the corner. 12-8 now, Vermillion. Peterson with the serve and cannot get it across the net. Service error leads to a 12-9 score now, as that point goes to Bonhomme. So back to serve for the Cavaliers now, senior 5'10 middle hitter Danny Kotalik. Peterson digs that one but cannot get it high enough. 12-10 now. Vermillion leads Bonhomme. Van Drongelen gets under that one, over to Allie Peterson. Askew has that blocked back, and that will make it now 12-11. So again, Kotalik with the serve, and that will be, not get back across, ties it up at 12-12. So again, now tied up at 12. Vermillion had a good lead there. Kotalik gets that to Van Drongelen, over to Allie Peterson. And Walker tips that across. Nice save there by Van Drongelen, over to Allie Peterson. Emma Reddick into the corner, and that is out. It's now 13-12 in favor of Bonhomme. Reddick is able to dig that out. Van Drongelen bumps that across. And that is just going to land inside the line. 14-12 now in favor of Bon Homme. And that shot will land on the Bon Homme side of the net, 14-13. As checking in will be Elizabeth Fisher. She's checking in for Allie Peterson. And also checking in, Skylar Grease, checking in for Ariellen Walker. So it's Grease back to serve along with Van Drongelen and Flynn Peterson. Emma Reddick, Elizabeth Fisher, and Josie Askew up front. 13-14 Vermillion trails. And that will just come across. Peterson and Reddick kind of one thought the other was going to take it. So 15-13 now in favor of Bon Homme. So Reddick gets that. Fisher hits that across the net. Flynn to Grease. Emma Reddick down the line. Emma Reddick, one of the more powerful hitters you're going to find. As Flynn Peterson gets a hold of that one. And Askew down the line, and that will be in. 15-14. Bon Homme with Vermillion looking to tie it back up. As Emma Reddick will go back to serve. So 15-14, Bon Homme just taps it across. Reddick over to Allie Peterson. No, Tessa Peterson, sorry. And that will drop 16-14 now in favor of the Cavaliers. We're in set number one. Neither team is led by more than 3. And that is a shot down the line by Josie Askew. 16-15 now. Tanagers trail the Cavaliers as Mercedes Reddick comes in. Flynn Peterson checks out. So Josie Askew back to serve for Vermillion. And that is an ace for Askew, tying things up. Tying things up at 16. Askew back to serve again. And that point will be for the Bon Homme Cavaliers. 17-16 now in favor of Bon Homme here in set number one. So back to serve is Jersey Schoenebaum. Dig there by Emma Reddick over to Skylar Grease. And that will not make it back across. That point will tie it back up at 17. So back to serve for Vermillion is Elizabeth Fisher. And that kill attempt by Ronick is into the net. Vermillion retakes the lead 18-17. As Elizabeth Fisher goes back to serve. And that is in the net, tied back up at 18. So Allie Peterson checks in for Elizabeth Fisher. Ariellen Walker checks in for Skylar Grease. Back to serve is Tacey Ronick. Tessa Peterson pushes that one across. That kill attempt cannot get across the net. 19-18 in favor of Homme. So back to serve again, Tacey Ronick. Ronick along with Jersey Schonebaum. Danny Kotalik out there. Kenzie Shurata. Back and forth rally here, and that will be saved by Allie Peterson. Tessa Peterson gets that across, and nice save by Homme. As they push it across, here's Allie Peterson. Over to Tessa. More great defense there by Homme. And Tessa Peterson bumps that over to Allie. Back to Tessa. There's Flynn Peterson over to Allie Peterson. Over to Tessa Peterson. And that will be saved by Vermillion. Balvin over to Emma Reddig now. Mercedes Reddig cannot get that to fall. Nice job by Mercedes there to get that across. That kill attempt by Kotalik ends up in the net, tying it up at 19 after one of the best rallies you're going to find. And Emma Reddig is able to get that across. Nice defense there by Van Drongelen. Over to Allie Peterson, who gets that, pushes that across. Nice block there by Mercedes Reddig. And that'll be a point for Vermillion as they retake the lead now 20-19 here in set number 1 of varsity action. Van Drongelen back to serve. And another point for the Tanagers, 21-19. And that point will be for Vermillion, 22-19. And that is out. Another point for the Tanagers, making it 23-19. And Homme is going to take a timeout. This timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. From the Birdcage in Vermillion on the campus of Vermillion High School, I'm Michael Schumacher. We'll be right back.
Candice Couture is your complete women's lingerie shop. Bras, underwear, PJs, loungewear, swimwear, sports bras, activewear, and much, much more. Small to 3 extra large and over 200 different sizes of bras. AA to O cup bands 28 to 56 in store. Candice Couture, 17 West Main Street.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Volleyball here in set number 1 of varsity action. Brooke Van Drongelen awaits Homme breaking their timeout. Vermillion leads 23-19. It's been a back and forth first set. And Van Drongelen looks to serve. That is in. Homme will bump it across. Van Drongelen at the back gets that. Allie Peterson over to Mercedes Reddig, and that's another point for the Tanagers. 24-19 in favor of Vermillion here in set number 1. So Van Drongelen looks to serve set point. Successful serve, and that is a beautiful, beautiful play by Homme. I believe that was number 11, Sadie Knoll. Makes it 24-20. Back to serve for Homme will be Emerson Tucker. Defended by Flynn Peterson, pushed across there by Allie Peterson. Sorry, Mercedes Reddick. And that is going to be out, and that will be set point. Vermillion will win set number 1. We'll be back with set number 2 after a 25-20 win here in set number 1 for the Tanagers on the Mesaba scoreboard. This is Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. From the Birdcage in Vermillion, I'm Michael.
The Pizza Ranch Vermillion is your event headquarters. Enjoy the crisp salad bar, the country's best chicken, and fresh pizza. Want a custom pizza? Just ask. We are proud to offer the buffet your way. And the Fun Zone Arcade features 36 games, 2 golf simulators, and full bar. Perfect for pregame tailgates and parties. Have a business meeting, team, or office party? Reserve the Dakota Center. It holds up to 300 people. Order online at pizzaranch.com for delivery, or circle your wagons and make Pizza Ranch your tailgate place next to USG.
In a situation like this, the first thing you do, of course, is make sure everybody's okay. And then you're thinking, you better call your insurance person. No, just call Justin. At Vermillion Auto Works, you see Justin handles all the insurance claims and gives free quotes. Not everybody does the free quote thing anymore, you know. So call Justin at Vermillion Auto Works. He'll take care of the situation. Carrying WeatherTech, Rough Country, and Tuxedo. Vermillion Auto Works.
Knutson Family Dentistry in Vermillion treats you like family. They believe a healthy smile starts with compassionate care. From toddlers to grandparents, their gentle team is here for your whole family. Whether it's a routine checkup or a full smile makeover, they'll keep you comfortable and confident. Knutson Family Dentistry in Vermillion makes your smile shine. Visit Knutson Family Dentistry online or call today, 605-624-6291.
If you're considering a new roof, you want to put your roof in the hands of Dave's Roofing. Dave's Roofing specializes in residential roofing and has over 10 years of experience. Dave's Roofing covers any job from a 60 to 80 mile radius of Sioux City and has a 10-man crew that completes most jobs in one day. Dave's Roofing will make sure the cleanup job is done right afterwards too. And the products installed are impact rated and eligible for homeowners insurance discounts. Look up Dave's Roofing on Facebook and check out the work that's been done and customer testimonials.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Out there for Homme, Raina Alberts, along with Jersey Schonebaum, Emma Balvin, Casey Ronick, as now Raina Alberts comes out for number 7, Sydney Pavel. So opening serve is Emma Balvin, the 5'8" senior outside hitter. That's defended at the back line by Brooke Van Dronglen. Skylar Grease pushes that across for the Tanagers. Flynn Peterson along with Skylar Grease. Josie Askew, Emma Reddig, and Elizabeth Fisher along with Brooke Van Dronglen. So that first point, again, just like in set number 1, went to Homme. Emma Reddig gets it over to Askew. Grease back to Reddig, and that's blocked again by Homme. Grease to Askew, blocked again, saved by Flynn Peterson, pushed across by Skylar Grease, and point Vermillion. Well defended by Homme, well played by Vermillion. Hard to get much better than that. So here's Skylar Grease's serve. And that's a block by Askew. 2-1 in favor of Vermillion. That's another point for the Tanagers, now with a 3-1 lead. So Skylar Grease served. And that is going to be another point for the Tanagers. 4-1 in favor of Vermillion. And Elizabeth Fisher has that blocked. And that kill is in by Bonhomme, 4-2. And going back to serve is number 8, Olivia Call. Checking in is Sadie Knoll. Front line is Sadie Knoll, Tacey Ronick, and Sydney Pavel. And Emma Reddig hits that long, 4-3. And that is long. That point goes to Vermillion, 5-3. So coming in will be Tessa Peterson. Coming in for Bonhomme is Chandra Gelsma. Back to serve for Vermillion is Emma Reddig. Nice shot there by Reddig, but saved by Bonhomme. Reddig to Grease, over to Askew, down the line, into the corner. 6-3 now in favor of Vermillion here in set number 2. So Emma Reddig into the net, miss serve, 6-4. So back to serve for Vermillion will be number 1, Jersey Schonebaum. Taken at the back line by Flynn Peterson. Tessa Peterson down to the baseline. And that makes it 7-4 now in favor of Vermillion. So Josie Askew goes back to serve for Vermillion. Grease over to Tessa Peterson, down the line again. And that is off of Askew. So Flynn Peterson checks back in. So Tacey Ronick back to serve for the Cavaliers. Here's Emma Reddig, Skylar Grease, back to Elizabeth Fisher, and that is long. 7-6 now in favor of Vermillion. Mercedes Reddig, and that will be successful. 8-6 now in favor of Vermillion. And that is long, 9-6 in favor of the Tanagers. Service there by Fisher. Saved by Emma Reddig on the back line, over to Grease, and that just falls between Tessa Peterson and Mercedes Reddig. 9-7 now in favor of Vermillion. As Elizabeth Fisher gets ready to check out, Allie Peterson gets ready to check in. Skylar Grease gets ready to check out. Ariellen Walker gets ready to check in. So 9-7 Vermillion leads as Emerson Tucker gets ready to serve. Flynn Peterson over to Emma Reddig, and that is going to fall on the Vermillion side, 9-8. Tucker to Peterson. To Peterson. To Peterson. And that is miss hit. That'll make it 9-9. And that hits the... That will hit the point, the antenna, so that makes it 10-9 in favor of Bon Homme now. So another point for Bon Homme makes it 11-9. Flynn Peterson on the back line gets it over to Allie Peterson, over to Mercedes Reddig. That's pushed across, saved at the base by Emma. And Tessa Peterson with the kill ends the rally for Bon Homme, makes it 11-10 in favor of Bon Homme. And that is an ace for Vermillion. So it's 11-11. And that is another ace for Van Drongelen. 12-11 in favor of Vermillion here in set number 2. Vermillion did take set number 1 by a score of 25-20. So Van Drongelen back to serve. Danny Kotalik with a successful kill evens the count at 12-12. And Kotalik will now go back to serve for the Cavaliers. Allie Peterson to Mercedes Reddig. And Vermillion gets that point back, 13-12. And back to serve will be Flynn Peterson. Checking in for Bon Homme is Sydney Pavel. Checking out is Danny Kotalik. Checking in is Josie Askew. Checking out is Mercedes Reddig. Again, Flynn Peterson back to serve for the Tanagers. Oh, and that serve will be out. 13-13. Balvin with an ace. Makes it 14-13 in favor of Bon Homme. Balvin started this match serving for Bon Homme. She goes back again. And just gets it over the net. Here's Allie Peterson. Emma Reddig. And that is in the net and well played, as Ariel and Walker almost gave up on that, but nice job. And Emma Reddig, oh, just out. Just long on the spike. 15-13 now in favor of Bon Homme. So Balvin back to serve again. And that is Walker getting that over, 15-14. So Skylar Grease goes back to serve. (15-14) Bon Homme leads. Casey Ronick with the kill makes it 16-14. And that is another point for Homme. They've extended their lead to 17-14. And that will be a point for the Tanagers. So 17-15 now as Tessa Peterson looks to check in. She'll check in for Brooke Van Drongelen as Emma Reddig will go back to serve. And that service error leads to an 18-15 score. That is another point for Homme, 19-15 as they are extending that lead here. There's Flynn Peterson over to Skylar Grease. And that is Josie Askew with the kill, killing the rally. 19-16 now in favor of Homme, but Vermillion will serve. Looks like it'll be Josie Askew going back to serve. It's Askew, Emma Reddig, Mercedes Reddig, Skylar Grease, Tessa Peterson, and Callie Schultz out there for the Tanagers. Here's Grease, and that bounces, no, that falls out of bounds. 19-17 as Vermillion claws their way back in. And that will fall between Grease and Askew. So 20-17. Now this is what Homme had last time, was 20 points. So Vermillion hoping to stave off another this set as they are up 1-0. Back to serve is Tacey Ronick, taken by Emma Reddig. And that is going to get behind the Tanager defense, 21-17. And Coach Zeller is going to take a timeout with Vermillion trailing 21-17 here in set number 2. This timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance. This is Tanager Volleyball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Vermillion trails 21-17 here in set number 2, up 1-0 on the Masaba scoreboard.
Interior technicians.
Jerry, I need your help. I'm in a real pickle.
How can we help? We clean carpets, furnace and duct cleaning, mold remediation, fire restoration, water damage restoration, office cleaning, and much more.
No, Jerry, I'm in a real pickle. I'm stuck and I can't get out. Hang on, I'll send you a pic so you can see what I mean.
Oh my gosh. When you need it clean, call the Intech team, fixing pickles since 1984.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. I'm Michael Schumacher as Vermillion trails 21-17 on the Masaba scoreboard here in set number 2, but they lead 1-0. Back to serve is Tacey Ronick for the Cavaliers, and that is defended by Flynn Peterson over to Skylar Grease. Callie Schultz with the cross-court shot, but that is long, 22-17. So here's Ronick again. And that is out. That service error makes the score 22-18 now. And coming out will be Callie Schultz. Coming in will be Allie Peterson. Allie Peterson goes back to serve, so it's Peterson, Redig, Peterson, Redig, and Grease. And that is in 23-18. So 2 points away. So Grease comes out, Ariellen Walker comes in. And that service error leads to a 23-19 score. So Brooke Van Drongelen will come in for Tessa Peterson. And Van Drongelen will head back to serve. Now, she had that nice service run back in the first set. And so we'll see if she can do that again. First serve is an ace, 23-20. And that serve gets across for Van Drongelen. Defended there by Peterson, over to Allie Peterson. Mercedes Redig with the kill, and that makes it 23-21. So the Tanagers looking to claw back here in this set number 2, leading 1-0. And here's Van Dronglen's serve. Nice block there by Mercedes Redig. Makes it 23-22. Vermillion feeling it here in set number 2 now. That's 3 consecutive points for Vermillion. They were down 23-19. Brooke Van Drongelen looks to serve. And that's going to be long. There was a net error anyhow, but ball is long. 23-23, all tied up, and that's going to be a timeout taken by Homme. 23-23 on the Mesaba scoreboard. This is Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
If you want somebody to come into your home and fix everything right the first time, look professional, act professional, treat you with respect, you got to call Kaylin's. When they come in, I feel that they want to be there. I feel that they want to help me.
You know, they put on the little booties over their shoes. They had canvas from the garage door all the way down to walk on. They left the furnace room in the basement probably cleaner than it was when they came in.
They just do customer service very well. I would recommend Kaylin's to anyone.
To be honest, it's the people that I work with. Like, I mean, I love what I do. You gotta love what you do to come every day. But the people I work with make coming 10 times easier.
Welcome back to Tanager Volleyball. Brooke Van Drongelen has brought us back from a 23-19 deficit to a tie at 23. That serve is, just long. 24-23. It's now serve set point for the Tanagers. Vermillion is up 1-0, but you'd love to get up 2-0 here. And that serve is into the net, as that was Maddie Einrum. No, that was Danny Kotalik. And so now back to 24-24. So now back to serve for Vermillion is Flynn Peterson. She did have one kind of shank last time, but that is a great serve. Gets it in. Allie Peterson over to Flynn. That's Emma Redig. Well defended by Homme. Boy, no. And they do just get it across. Wow. And Allie Peterson pushes that across as the defense was coming up to the net and just got behind him. It's now 25-24 in favor of Vermillion, and Homme wants to take another timeout. This timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance. 25-24 in set number 2. Vermillion leads on the Mesaba scoreboard. This is Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota.
To be honest, it's the people that I work with. Like, I mean, I love what I do. You gotta love what you do to come every day. But the people I work with make coming 10 times easier. You want to be a part of a team that cares for you and that actually put in the time to teach you and show you the things to do in a proper way, you know, you're just full of people who care.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Vermillion leads 25-24 here in set number 2. Flynn Peterson back to serve. Defended there by Emerson Tucker. And that is going to be out. And that is it. Vermillion wins set number 2. So Vermillion is now up 2-0. We'll be back with set number 3 after this. This is Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Truckers, commercial fleet, car owners, when you need a DOT inspection, you need a battery, oil change, diagnostic, or specialized tire service for farm, auto, and heavy equipment, JFI will get your vehicle repaired and washed and back on the road. JFI proudly supports Vermillion Tanagers, the community of Vermillion, in business for nearly 100 years for a reason. JFI is the best, and that's no lie. JFI 1218 Compton Court, Vermillion.
This is your invitation to thrive in Yankton, South Dakota. Nestled on the bluffs of the Missouri River, plenty of outdoor adventures are waiting. Whether you work remote or in a traditional office, we have a spot for you. Quality health care, diverse manufacturing, progressive school system, Mount Marty University, and so much more. Explore with family and friends. Let's thrive together.
Get the finest wood in the neighborhood. Down at the lumberyard.
But it's not just wood at the lumberyard. With a wide variety of quality building materials, the folks at the lumberyard can help you with all of your project needs. Whether it be paint, siding, cabinets, windows, or of course lumber, the lumberyard is ready to help. The best wood in the neighborhood at the lumberyard, 1000 West Cherry Street in Vermillion.
Welcome back to the Birdcage on the campus of Vermillion High School in Vermillion, South Dakota. I'm Michael Schumacher as we get ready for set number 3. Vermillion up 2-0 on Bon Homme. Starting off serving for Vermillion will be Skylar Grease out there with Brooke Van Drongelen, Flynn Peterson, Elizabeth Fisher, Emma Reddig, and Josie Askew. And the first serve is out. And that's been the story of each set. Bon Homme has taken the first point in each of the 3 sets. And Askew with the kill. 1-1. So Flynn Peterson bumps it to Tessa Peterson. Cross court, defended there by Emerson Tucker. And that is going to be a miss hit by Bon Homme. 2-1 now in favor of Vermillion. Back to serve is Emma Reddig for the Tanagers. And that is a nice serve, and that will technically be an ace, 3-1, as they were not able to get a return on it. So 3-1 now in favor of the Tanagers here in set number 3. Looking for a sweep maybe, but a win over a good Bon Homme team. And that is another ace, 4-1 in favor of Vermillion. As checking in is Catherine Euchre. Euchre, we called her name a bit during the JV matchup. And Reddick with, that one was defended, and Reddick gets the defense at the back line. And there's Fisher with the kill. Yes! 5-1 in favor of Vermillion. And Reddick just gets that across. Oh, nice defense there by Flynn Peterson. Over to Tessa Peterson. And Bonhomme regroups, and they shoot it across. Nice job by Skylar Grease. Over to Tessa Peterson, and she mishits. Makes it 5-2 in favor of Vermillion. And going back to serve for the Cavaliers will be number 8, Olivia Call. Here's Grease with the set over to Tessa Peterson. Pushes it back across over the middle. And nice defense by Flynn Peterson. Tessa Peterson gets that across. And that will just be long. 5-3 in favor of Vermillion. As back to serve again will be Olivia Call. Flynn Peterson, and that was going to be close, and that one could not be brought back, and so that's going to be 6-3 in favor now of Vermillion. As coming out is Olivia Call, checking in is Chandra Jelsma. So Josie Askew back to serve for the Tanagers. 6-3 lead for Vermillion here in set number 3, up 2-0. And that block leads to another point for Vermillion, 7-3. So Vermillion really feeling themselves here as Askew goes back to serve. Emma Reddick gets to that one. Skylar Grease over to Tessa Peterson. Nice touch over the net there. Reddick will bump set over to Tessa Peterson down the line, and that'll just be long, making it 7-4. So Jersey Schoenbaum with the serve. Mercedes Reddick hits to cross. 7-4, Vermillion leads. And that is going to be long. 8-4 now. Vermillion has doubled up. Bonhomme. And going back to serve for the Tanagers will be Elizabeth Fisher. Fisher, Reddick, Grease, Peterson. Ooh, Fisher can't quite get under that one. Now 8-5 in favor of Vermillion. As Allie Peterson checks in for Fisher. Ariellen Walker checks in for Skylar Askew. So back to serve is Tacey Ronick. Nice defense there by Flynn Peterson. Allie Peterson over to Mercedes Reddick, and that will be a point for Vermillion. 9-5. So Brooke Van Drongelen back to serve for the Tanagers. And that is an ace, 10-5. Again, Vermillion keeps it, gives up one, gets two. And so doubled up right now. Brooke Van Drongelen would like to break that streak, get 3 in a row here. And that is long. Yes, that is long. 11-5 now in favor of Vermillion. Balvin gets it over the net. And here's Emma Reddig. And that is going to be a kill for Emma Reddig. And Bonhomme wants to take a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. 12-5, Vermillion leads on the Mesaba scoreboard here in set number 3 with Vermillion up 2-0. This is Tanager Volleyball. Welcome back as Vermillion leads 12-5 here in set number 3, leading 2-0 as Bonhomme gets ready to break out of their timeout. Brooke Van Drongelen awaits to serve. She's been kind of the lucky charm when it's come to serving today for Vermillion. She's had a few different runs, and this is one of them. And that one just handcuffs them almost every time. Nice job there by Allie Peterson. Ariellen Walker. Yes, Ariellen Walker with a kill. 13-5 now. Vermillion over Bonhomme here in set number 3. Vermillion would love to get this win. This would be huge for this Tanager team. And again, we hope to have a coach and a player after the game. And Van Drongelen really serving well tonight. And then defends that on the back line. Over to Emma Reddig, and that's another point for Vermillion. So 14-5, Vermillion leads. Brooke Van Drongelen set to serve. Again, defends the back line. There's Allie Peterson. Over to Mercedes Reddig, and there was just miscommunication on who was supposed to take that. 14-6. And Coach Zeller's just like, we've just got to communicate that stuff. So 14-6 now. Back to serve is Emerson Tucker. Emerson Tucker was a final. Oh, that's a different song. Totally different. Flynn Peterson over to Allie Peterson. Ariellen Walker gets that across. Nice defense to reset for Vermillion. Flynn Peterson, she is able to get just about everywhere. Oh, and Ariellen Walker cannot handle that. 14-7 now in favor of the Tanagers. So Tucker back to serve as Vermillion is now back to doubled up. Ariellen Walker gets that across. Van Drongelen over to Allie Peterson, and Emma Reddig can't quite get that across. 14-8 now. Nice little run here for Bonhomme to get back into it. That's a wonderful block by Bonhomme. Now 14-9 in favor of the Tanagers. So again, Tucker still back there serving. And Walker with the block. Bonhomme does get it across. Here's Allie Peterson over to Mercedes Reddig, and that is long. 14-10 now in favor of Vermillion. So Tucker back to serve once again for Bonhomme. Flynn Peterson, good defense there. Allie Peterson over to Mercedes Emma Reddig, and that one will be in. 15-10 now. 15-10 now in favor of Vermillion. Back to serve is Flynn Peterson. Checking in is Josie Askew. Checking out is Mercedes Reddig. And that is out 16-10. Vermillion starting to feel it. So Flynn Peterson back to serve again, 16-10. Vermillion already up 2-0. Well defended there by Allie Peterson. Flynn over to Emma Reddig. Nice drop shot by Emma. And that will be point Bon Homme, 16-11. So point Tanagers on the service error, 17-11. So Skylar Grease back to serve, up 17-11. And that will be in, defended by Bon Homme. Kotalik over to Van Drongelen. Just over the outstretched arms of Ronick and Call. There's Flynn Peterson over to Skylar Grease. Josie Askew has that blocked into the arms of Fisher. Askew gets that one in, though. Askew would not be deterred. 18-11 now in favor of the Tanagers. So Skylar Grease back to serve again. Vermillion up 7. Baldwin over to Tucker. And that is Ronick. Askew again! Josie Askew feeling good. 19-11 now in favor of Vermillion. Just 6 points away from a sweep of Bon Homme and their 4th win of the season. And this is going to be a timeout taken by Bon Homme. So we'll take a timeout as well. Brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. 19-11, Vermillion leads in set number 3 on the Masaba scoreboard. We'll be back right after this. This is Tanager Volleyball, brought to you by First Dakota.
The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Vermillion is proud to support local athletics like USD and the Tanagers. The DQ Fall flavors are in, and DQ has great food at great prices. Get a $7 meal deal. Choose from a cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken basket with fries, a drink, and a sundae for only $7. Got an office team party or birthday party? If you want to celebrate, don't bake, buy a DQ cake. And DQ supports the Sanford Children's Network. So after the game, take your team for a thrill to the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill, 905 East Cherry Street, Vermillion, South Dakota.
Welcome back to Tanager Volleyball, up 19-11. Skylar Grease prepares to serve. And that will be long. 19-12. And you see that so many times coming out of a timeout that the serve is then a service error. And I think that's part of why they call the timeout, because serves, when you're serving, you are getting into a rhythm, and it just kind of halts that just a little bit. And Emma Reddig has that blocked, and 19-13 now in favor of Vermillion. So back to serve is Emma Baldwin. Reddig to Grease. And Askew with the kill. Nice! That's 3 of them this set for Josie Askew. 20-13 now. So Emma Reddig back to serve. It's Emma Reddig, Skylar Grease, and Flynn Peterson, along with Tessa Peterson, Josie Askew, and Elizabeth Fisher. Here's Tacey Ronick, and that is a perfect kill. 20-14 now in favor of Vermillion. All right, when I leave town, I'm going to need your thoughts and prayers to avoid McDonald's. McDonald's is always open here, and I starve myself on days I broadcast, so please keep me in your thoughts that I have the power to get past McDonald's. Here's Skylar Grease over to Tessa Peterson. Ooh. Nice job there by Josie Askew, and that is Bon Homme in the net. Point Vermillion, 21-14. Nice job by Emma Reddig. Nice job by Mercedes to get back into position too. Emma bounces that across. Tessa Peterson. And Ronick gets that across into the hands of Askew. Over to Grease. Mercedes Reddig. And that will be point. Tanagers 22-14. And that is going to be long. It's now 23-14. 2 points away from a Vermillion sweep of Homme. That would be a huge victory for this Tanager team. Up 2-0 here in set number 3. Back to serve is Josie Askew. Oh, that falls on the Vermillion side. 23-15. 8-point lead for the Tanagers. So checking in for Homme is Danny Kotalik. Out there right now for Vermillion. Emma Reddig, Mercedes Reddig, Skylar Grease, Tessa Peterson, Flynn Peterson, and Josie Askew. Here's Flynn Peterson over to Tessa. And Mercedes Reddig with the free shot over. Nice job by Emma Reddig, but could not keep it in play. 23-16. Service by Schonebaum. Grease. Over to Emma Reddig. Has a nice sink on that ball of hers. Flynn Peterson. Over to Askew, or Elizabeth Fisher, sorry. And Skylar Grease skies that one too far. 23-17. That serve is in the net. It is now set point for Vermillion. Set point for the Tanagers. As back to serve will be Elizabeth Fisher. And that is a block by Tessa Peterson and Mercedes Reddig. And Vermillion wins in straight sets. 25-20, 26-24, and 25-17. It wasn't easy. It wasn't always pretty, but Vermillion persisted. And we will hope to have a coach and player coming up after this. We will have our post-game show brought to you by the Vermillion Chamber and Development Company. I'm Michael Schumacher. We'll also take a look around the state at other scores in Class A, B, and AA. And we'll be right back after these messages on Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube.
Slumberland Furniture at 2401 Broadway in Yankton, home of Kirkland Furniture Group's bedroom groups by Laguna and dining sets by Tower and Catadel. They're also the only place to offer furniture by Flex Steel and the biggest selection of Lazy Boy in the area. The Mattress Gallery is full of the best brand name mattresses in the business, including the all-new Tempur-Pedic Active Breeze personalized climate-controlled mattress. Slumberland Furniture, dining, bedroom sets, and mattresses in Yankton.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small, just as it should be. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of choices to make sure you have the perfect coverage to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance.
And we are back, and we are going to have our post-game show with Vermillion Chamber and Development Company post-game show. We have Brooke Van Drongelen along with Coach Zeller. Coach, this is a really nice win. Bonhome's a good team, a straight set victory, and I mean, it feels like you got everything. I mean, there were times where it felt like they had first two sets, Bonhomme had set point twice, so you persevered. You had to come back. I don't know that any one player stood out. So many different players had different roles, from a Josie Askew to a Tessa Peterson to Flynn Peterson, just reaching every ball that was out there, to our guest who's going to be coming up, Brooke, having multiple serves in a row, service aces. Everyone played a role. How big of a momentum builder is a win like this?
Well, to me, this is huge. First of all, this is our first home win in 2 years.
Really?
It is. So
wow.
I didn't even bring that up to the girls tonight. We had a goal tonight. Our goal was to play with a purpose tonight. We lost a player yesterday for the year. Sienna Mount is done for the year. Her hip injury is back. And so our hearts are a little sad because of that, but we're going to use everything we can out of that to make some positive things happen. So I put the spotlight on Sienna tonight, and she was our good luck charm tonight. So I feel like our goal being purpose tonight and what each of them was going to provide us to get a big win like this for us, it proved that's what we did tonight, is they won as a team. So
well, it really was, and it was against like I said, a good Bonhomme team that has some height, has some speed, has some length, and they were able to get to quite a bit. The number of rallies that crossed that net 15, 20, 25 times, it was unbelievable. It was some of the best volleyball I've seen, just the most entertaining volleyball, but it's so nice to be able to come out on top like this. Obviously to get that win at home, what do you attribute it to? Because you guys are on a pretty nice run. You started off 0-3, and now all of a sudden I think it's 4-2 in the last 6.
It is.
So,
we aren't counting, but
no, we're not counting, but there's a chance to get to 500 on Thursday. How exciting is that?
It's super exciting for me, and I think I've got the girls almost believing it's super exciting too. Coming into this year, that's been the sales pitch I've been giving them all year long, is that we've got a really talented group of girls coming through right now, and they've got young kids pushing them every day in practice, and that all it does is make us better on a daily basis. We had Sienna go out. She played so well on Saturday in the tournament, and then to lose her today could have been something to really knock us off our blocks. I was just really proud of the way the girls came out and played tonight, and played as a whole unit. You're right. We didn't have anybody stand out a shining star tonight. We had about 10 of them, because they all just really came together as a group and really played well. I have to attribute a couple of things. First of all, serving was good tonight. We missed some that we're not used to missing. Flynn missed a couple. Skylar missed a couple. She doesn't usually miss either. But what we've been working on is, I'm okay with a couple of misses if we can have some aces to back those up.
And you definitely did.
And we definitely did. I didn't get a count on Brooke. Do you know how many you had, Brooke? She thinks she had 6, and wouldn't be 1 ounce surprised by that. So I'll get it in the paper for her. But yeah, she served her head off tonight. And I also thought our serve receive was fantastic tonight. We had a couple of passes, but we are a high school team. We're not going to be perfect. But overall, our passing was really solid tonight, and that really makes our setters' jobs a whole bunch easier. And we ran a lot of different hits tonight, didn't we? We've been working on a lot of that stuff in practice, and it's just hard to get it done in a game if you don't have good passing. And so the passers really helped us out tonight with that.
Well, and it really was just the movement out there. There are a couple of things I wanted to talk about. You talked about the young players challenging. Well, that's another thing. Straight set wins in freshman, straight set wins in JV, and then a straight set win in varsity. It shows levels of competition all the way through. But another thing I wanted to note is that, and this obviously comes because it's now game 6 or 7 or whatever, there seemed to be less confusion just like on switches and players going in and out. It just really felt like, okay, this is what we do. It wasn't so much, okay, who's doing this? Is that something that you guys have been or is it just because you've been working on it?
Well, this is the same lineup we've run for the last, I think, 5 matches, excuse me. I did have to do a couple of little tweaks here and there. I had to switch Tessa and Emma on the outsides because I felt like our percentages were better having Tessa and Josie not in the same rotation 2 out of the 3 times the 2 of them are there. So I did a couple of just that little flip, but it's been the same kids in the same positions, and I think everybody's starting to feel really comfortable in their role. So I felt like it came together tonight. I'm like flabbergasted, and I'm super proud of the performance they did tonight.
Well, and so one final question for you. So what do you do between now and Thursday? I mean, because you obviously don't want to rest on your laurels, but you just have this quick turnaround because you have this game and then a travel. It's a distance. What do you do between now and then?
Well, we'll do some more serve receive tomorrow because you're never good enough at serve receive. We'll do some more serving, and we're going to do some hitting. We've been working a lot on our blocking and our block coverage, and I think you saw that several times tonight where we got balls blocked and we were able to continue to play them up. So that'll be our main focus is tomorrow. Just for everybody listening, cookie dough comes in tomorrow, so our big fundraiser we did, the girls are going to be delivering cookie dough, so I'll probably let them out of practice a little bit early, and they earned that tonight too.
All right. Well, and I'm going to say nobody asked me, but I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm glad nobody did because I would have said yes, and then I would have just eaten it and I would have felt bad.
There you go. It's okay. I'm in practice with them every day, and nobody asked me either.
All right. Well, good. Well, we're going to hand the headset over to Brooke Van Drongelen, who I mentioned a few different times was the kind of the service queen tonight, and so in each set, just had these streaks, and like you said, that's what would have been my guess, like 6 or 7 aces. Mm-hmm. I was somebody who, even in when you did grade school, high school, PE, serving, I stunk. How do you? What's your mindset behind the serving? How do you focus on trying to get an ace? I mean, just what goes into it?
Well, coach tells me where to serve, and I always make sure my toss is good, and I try to intimidate the other girls on the other side. I really stare them down, and I don't know, I just get a good float on it, try to serve in the seams between the players where coach tells me to, and yeah.
Well, and I'm glad you mentioned that you do a stare down because you always look so not just intent but intense, and especially there was one time they came out of a timeout and you were just standing down there. You had the ball on the right hand side, and I was like, wow, that is intense. So that's intentional.
Yeah, it is.
Excellent. Well, it's working. It works on me. So, but you weren't just serving tonight. When you were serving, obviously a number of them did get served back, returned back, and you defended that baseline. You defended that back line very well. How important is that, obviously as part of your job, once you serve, that you're kind of patrolling that area?
I just try to forget about the serve and where it is, and I focus on playing defense and reading my hitters and getting the ball up and continuing the point.
All right. And now, obviously, as Coach mentioned, this is the first home win in 2 years. You've been a part of this program. I've just seen it last couple of years, especially last year I really started announcing more. You guys seem at ease or at peace with the game, with each other. Even miss hits, it doesn't look like you're stressing out. It's like, okay, I can do better, but nobody seems to be melting down. Is that a mindset that coach has brought in, that you guys have brought in, that you guys are working together on?
I definitely got to say that's all coach. I mean, she's really changed our mindset on everything, and if we mess up, it's not the end of the world, and we just focus on the next point, and she's really brought that atmosphere in, and she's really focusing on making us love the sport again, which it's awesome. I mean, I'm finally enjoying volleyball again for the first time in a long time, and it feels really nice to be with my girls, and we're all actually enjoying what we're doing and smiling and helping each other through those tough times.
Well, and that has to be fun, and you have to probably enjoy practice, and you enjoy matches, and even when you're not successful, it feels like you guys are doing enjoying it out there. Now you guys are 4-5. You got a chance to get to 500, and you guys honestly are looking better every match. Obviously not looking for any locker room material, but is there a ceiling to what you guys can accomplish, or if you guys can keep improving, it feels like you guys could have a lot of success this season.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really happy with where we're at right now, and I know we're going to keep getting better and better. Coach pushes us every single day in practice, and she'll continue to do that. And, yeah, I think we're just going to get better and better as time goes on. I don't think there's really a limit for us.
All right. Well, excellent. Well, I know you want to get out of here. It's been a long day, so I'll let you. But thank you so much for coming up and talking to me.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on a great night.
You.
That was Brooke Van Drongelen. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Yes. Okay, thank God. All right, that was Brooke Van Drongelen. Really just kind of a star tonight, serving, defending, but so many great players out there for the Tanagers tonight. And so, you've got to take your hat off to them. As far as that goes. And so let's just take a look around the state of South Dakota, some area games, and then we will let you go, because it's been a big night. It's a big night of volleyball in the state of South Dakota. We'll take first a look at Class AA. Harrisburg sweeps Mitchell. Brookings sweeps T. Watertown leads Huron 2-1. Brandon Valley and Sioux Falls Lincoln tied 1 set each. And then Sioux Falls Washington leads Sioux Falls Jefferson 2-1. Sturgis leads Custer 1-0. And we do not have a score update on the Yankton-Sioux Falls-Roosevelt matchup. And that was supposed to start at 6:30, so there should be something there, you would think. Does not appear to be, though. And then Douglas and Hill City, no score. Rapid City Christian and Spearfish, no score. In Class A, Mobridge Pollock leads North Central 2-1. Mount Vernon Plankton 1-0 over Ethan. Vermillion with that win. West Central 3-0 over Elk Point Jefferson. Sioux Falls Christian 2-0 over Madison. DeSmet over Dual 1-0. Chester area over Baltic 1-0. Parker Marion over Canton tied at 1. Clark Willow Lake over Wilmot in straight sets. Aberdeen Roncalli over Florence Henry in 2-0 right now. Just had somebody ask if the Lakota Tech football game got taken off the streaming page. Let me check. I don't think so. I would hope not. Oh, it looks like it did. Well, that is weird. I'm going to have to check that out. Unless there was some music in there that was getting it dinged. So we'll have to take a look at that, see what might have happened. So we'll check on that. But so that's just kind of a look around the state. We're going to call it a night here from the Birdcage in Vermillion. I'm Michael Schumacher. You guys have a great night where Vermillion wins. Freshman, junior varsity, and varsity all in straight sets. You guys have a great night.